Well, let's get more on this now with Robin de Wouters, who's the spokesperson for Democrats abroad, Belgium. He joins us now from Brussels. Really good to have you with us, Robin. Can I get your reaction to the fact that Donald Trump is going to be trying for a third time at a run at the White House?
Yes, it was clearly no surprise that he made this announcement. He had touted it for quite some time, but I think he had a lot of pressure to wait until after the midterms because there was a lot of concern about what his announcement would have done on the polls if he had, announced it before the midterms. But as we saw last week, there was no red wave, and so that's why, as you pointed out in your interview, that he was much more moderate because he needs to unify a broken Republican Party, many of whom are actually blaming him for the losses or the lack of success in the midterms.
That's right. That so-called red wave that was expected ended up being a bit of a ripple. It looks like the Republicans will take control of the lower house, the House of Representatives, but the Democrats are holding on to control of the Senate. What does that mean for Trumpism, the Trump effect? Do you think it has been diminished? Is it over in America?
I think that's a bit too soon to tell, but I think there's a lot of reckoning to happen within the Republican Party. There is also the prospect of having Florida Governor Ron DeSantis run in the 2024 election. He's clearly a bigger name now than he was a few weeks ago before the midterms, and I think Trump has to also acknowledge that, which is why he's being so cautious. But that doesn't change the fact that a huge majority of Americans are tired of Trump's antics. It's always about fear mongering. It's always focused on crime and a supposed southern border invasion and so on. And it's always based on fear. And the Democrats proved him by winning in 2020 and again by reversing a supposed red wave in 2022. And we'll do that again in 2024, making sure that he's not reelected.
Let's talk about Joe Biden now, because before the midterm elections, we saw various poll numbers showing that his popularity had waned. There were question marks even from within the Democratic Party about whether or not Biden would be the best person to lead the party at the next election. But we've seen now, as a result of these midterms, it's the most successful outcome for any sitting party in 20 years. Does that reinvigorate Joe Biden's prospects, do you think? Do you think he will be the leader taking the Democrats into the 2024 election?
It's not my place to have a clue whether he will actually announce his bid for re-election. Right now, we're focused on curing ballots in states where there's still uncalled races, and we also have the Georgia runoff election next month that's going to decide whether the Senate has a 50-50 majority or 51-49. That's clearly the objectives at the moment and the focus of the Democratic Party. We'll get to 2024 once that is all done. But again, we will support the candidate, whoever he is or she is. But what's important is that the midterms, even though the approval ratings of President Biden, are perhaps not as great as they once were, he clearly still has the power to unite his party. We've seen it in the midterms, and we've seen it in his agenda. He has quite an economic success to boast in his 2 years, and we hope that he will be able to do that in the next 2 years of his administration.
Okay, Robin de Wouters from Democrats Abroad, Belgium. Thank you so much for joining us.